Welcome to the Tech Show. I'm Sonya Gavankar. Today we're talking to a doctor about an innovative way to smooth out our imperfections. We really try to start out the new year with less screen time, and take my money, that'll hopefully make me a little bit sleepy. All that and more coming up on the Tech Show. Now it's time for the latest. Tourists from dozens of countries, including the UK, could be asked this year to provide a 5-year social media history as a condition of re-entry into the United States under a new proposal unveiled by the American officials. The new condition would affect people from dozens of countries who are eligible to visit the U.S. for 90 days without a visa, as long as they have filled out an electronic system for travel authorization form. Since returning to the White House in January of 2025, President Donald Trump has moved to toughen U.S. borders more generally, citing national security as a reason. Analysts say the new plan could pose an obstacle to potential visitors or harm their digital rights. The U.S. expects a major influx of foreign tourists next year as it hosts the Men's Football World Cup alongside Canada and Mexico, and for the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. Asked whether the proposal could lead to a steep drop-off in tourism to the United States, Trump said he was not concerned. Kids from Australia and Denmark may have trouble producing a social media history, since Denmark seems to be following Australia's lead in restricting young people from the platforms. The Danish government's proposal to ban access to social media for anyone under the age of 15 would be the most sweeping step yet by a European Union nation to limit use of social media among teens and children. The Danish government's plans could become law as soon as mid-2026. The proposed measure would give some parents the rights to let their children access social media from the age of 13. Local media reported that. But the ministry has not yet fully shared the plans. Danish Minister for Digital Affairs, Caroline Stage, told the Associated Press during an interview that in far too many years, we have given the social media platforms free play in the playing rooms of our children. There's been no limits, Stage continued. When we go into the city at night, there are bouncers who are checking the age of young people to make sure that no one underage gets into parties that they're not supposed to be in. She added, in the digital world, we don't have any bouncers, and we definitely need that. Our favorite hasty decision, Waymo, is back in the news. At the beginning of October 2025, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration launched a probe into Waymo's driverless taxis, alleging that they committed safety violations by failing to stop when a school bus ahead of them had. According to the initial report with the Office of Defects Investigation, the robo-taxis would do this particularly when the bus is boarding or off-boarding students. Although students get on and off school buses on the sidewalk opposite to the side of the bus that the robo-taxi would pass on, this presents an obvious safety risk, or else it wouldn't be illegal to pass stopped school buses in the first place. That NHTSA recall says that all affected vehicles were repaired with an autonomous driving system software update by November 17th, spanning some 3,067 units, with production dates from 20 August to the 5th of November of 2025. Thus far, Waymo robotaxis have done some 14 million trips in 2025 alone, and these trips provide the company with more and more data to further improve its systems with. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
My name is Shirley Curry. I'm 79 years old. I live here in Rocky Mount, Virginia. I've been playing video games since the mid-90s. That's when my son gave me my first computer and game. They keep my brain active. I'm not that good a player. I'm really derpy, actually, but I love it. I'm the grandma gamer. My very favorite game of all time is Skyrim. I love all the flowers that you can pick. I love the majestic mountains. I love the old dead trees, and it's an adventure, and I like to go on adventures. Where did he come from? There you go, the kill shot. Yes, glitch it. Oh my God, give me the kill shot. The kill shot. Yes, I got the dragon soul.
This is a new year, and although I love the old me, I don't want to continue down the path of doom scrolling in 2026. So I got the YSky timed phone lockbox. It puts me out of reach of Instagram for 10 minutes at a time to start with. So let's find out if we need it. So I kind of love it from the beginning. There's no bells and whistles. There's not a whole lot of stuff to mess with. You just plop your phone in. This one's not my phone, it's April's phone. You prop your friend's phone in there and you press the power button twice to confirm the time setting that you have. We have it on for 1 minute right now. Then you get a 10-second countdown. That's kind of like your grace period for, you know, if you decide, oh no, I shouldn't have really put it in there. Maybe I have a call coming in. Well, you only have 10 seconds. P.S. It's actually 9, and it locks this sucker down. You can't then get it out. It's locked in there for the amount of time you put it in. This time, just 1 minute. The opaque box means you won't pay attention to any of the notifications or to the lock screen. You can only use it with headphones to listen to music, access your digital assistant or Siri, or answer calls and end calls. Extend the lock time as you develop good habits. I've noticed I can actually forget my phone for up to 10 minutes now, which I think is a good goal. So as it comes out of the lock, do we need this? If you think you do, or you think somebody else needs a little help to break their bad habits, there's a QR code that you can order it from Amazon right now. It'll take a little longer than 10 seconds, but it'll be good for your health. We'll be back with more of the Tech Show in just a minute. Stay tuned. Plastic surgery used to be reserved for celebrities and very hush-hush. But as more of us look into getting procedures, less invasive and natural results are what everyone is looking for. And we have plastic surgeon Dr. Kamakshi Zeidler, or Dr. Z as she's known, here today to talk to us about new ways to achieve results with AlloClae. Hello, Dr. Z.
Hello.
Dr. Z, can you tell us about AlloClae?
Yes, AlloClae really is the first off-the-shelf fat solution that can be used for body contouring. And just like you were saying, for achieving natural results that can be long-lasting, as plastic surgeons, we're really excited to finally have a product like this.
How is it different from other fat transfer procedures?
Yeah, so as a kind of lifelong fat grafter, those procedures require usually general anesthesia, liposuction of a region of the body, say the love handle region, the abdomen, the inner outer thighs, anywhere where there's pinchable fat, and then the fat can be processed in various ways and then re-injected to areas like the breasts or the buttocks, hips for contouring. We even use it in the face. And so this is kind of an involved process that requires multiple regions of the body, not just where you want to put it, but also where you want to take it from. Very different from this new option, which basically fat can come in a syringe off the shelf and be injected in the office, just under local procedure where patients drive themselves to the appointments, oftentimes drive themselves home.
I didn't realize that the downtime was so minimal. So what kinds of procedures use AlloClae, and what can't you do with it?
Right. So as physicians, we're very familiar with ways to use products that are both FDA approved, FDA not approved, but cleared. And then what many of us do with our expertise is off-label. So AlloClae is a product that has been FDA cleared for replacing volume loss where fat naturally exists. So it's a product that's derived from human fat, and therefore it's indicated for replacing where fat exists. So subcutaneous fat, anywhere in the body. And many of us in surgery, particularly plastic surgery, we're a field of innovators, are using it off-label. So within our area of expertise and comfort zone to treat other areas, such as the breast and deeper tissues.
Can we take a step back to explain the difference between FDA approved and FDA cleared and off-label? It can be kind of confusing.
Yeah, I'll kind of simplify it. So when a new product comes to market, they're, anything from breast implants to these sorts of, fillers, they go through a process of being vetted by the FDA, and the FDA will give its stamp of approval for a certain indication. And AlloClae is one of those that has the use of being able to be injected anywhere where fat naturally exists. So fat exists all over the body. We have a layer of it under our skin everywhere, and then deeper pockets and other regions. Now, within this framework, we as physicians, particularly plastic surgeons, can use certain products off-label. An example of this is, say, like breast implants, which are indicated for women over a certain age. Well, we may decide that under a certain age is basically the same thing, and we can do something off-label in our best judgment. And sometimes there are products like this. For example, Botox is another one, which is FDA cleared for regions like the forehead, the crow's feet, and most recently the neck, but we sometimes use it to inject little muscles in other parts of the face. So very comfortable within the same framework, but a slightly nuanced, different use, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And how do we go about consulting someone who may want a fat transfer procedure?
Let's just say there's a patient who comes in and say, I see a couple of categories of patients. Someone who wants their hips contoured in such a way that the hip dips are a fixation now, wearing the cute workout pants, and the little dip on the side of the hips is something that a lot of patients are wanting to round out. So when I see patients for this, there are a few options. One is surgical. So we can do classic fat transfer, which requires liposuction. In those cases, we often take a little away from the lower back, the inner outer thighs. So we're contouring the region around the buttocks, and then the fat can be re-injected. And this is a surgical procedure. And some patients really love this option. They want some liposuction anyway. And so that can be a great option. For some patients, they really just want to get in, get out, get right back to working out, and want an immediate result, but not have to go through anesthesia and recovery and garments and downtime and waiting for an eventual result. And sometimes they want to be able to build incrementally. And so that's where AlloClae fits in to achieve similar types of results with a similar sort of product, but rather than their own fat, it's cadaveric fat or other people's fat. In some way, it sounds kind of creepy, but in a way, it's like dead people's fat. The fat that is then processed and, treated to remove the DNA and all of the cellular content. And then that can be packaged up, delivered to us, and in a way that we can inject it right in the office. So someone would come in, we would apply a little topical numbing, I would inject the area to keep it comfortable, and then clean it and inject it in an office-based setting. And patients can pop up, really see the results right away, and oftentimes be able to drive themselves home, or certainly, get back to their regular life within a couple of days.
Okay, so again, minimal downtime. So how long do the results actually last?
So it's a good question. In medicine, we're often very scientific, and some of the results of the studies are still ongoing. And I think the jury is a little bit out on how long this will last. We have very similar products to AlloClae that provide different types of results, but are manufactured in a very similar fashion. So Fat Matrix, there's a product that's been around for over a decade called Renuva that I've used and has very good, long-lasting results. There are similar products that we use all over surgery, whether it's tendon grafts, nerve grafts, collagen matrices that come from skin derivatives. We use these in plastic surgery in particular, but all parts of surgery. And we find that the body grows into these products, and basically, this scaffolding provides a framework for the body to rebuild. So we're familiar with these products having a very long-lasting effect.
I love the way that you explained it, but unfortunately, Dr. Z, you can't be everywhere. So what should people look for if they'd like to get an AlloClae procedure and can't come to you?
Yeah, I think that AlloClae falls in the wheelhouse of any surgeon. In particular, a plastic surgeon has a lot of experience with the anatomy, and surgeons who do a lot of fat transfer will provide excellent results. So I would look for someone who has experience with fat grafting or fat transfer in particular in the area that you're interested in, because the technique and the type of results you will get will be very similar to what can be achieved with surgery. So find a fat grafting expert. I would also look for someone who has familiarity with this product in particular, so can advise you on how much to use, how to build it over time. It's not inexpensive. And so you want to make sure that your investment is worth it. And so there are many of my colleagues around the country who, like me, have taken the time to really understand the product, to participate in the research studies, and to collaborate with one another so that you as a patient get really great results.
How can people follow you and learn more?
Oh, well, that's a great question. I try and keep up with things like Instagram, blog posts, and information on our website, and so that people can see some of the before and after results and what's possible. I think that a personalized consultation is really what's necessary because everyone is unique. You never know how your unique anatomy or your medical background will affect the way that we recommend these products are used or the types of results that you would get.
Thanks so much for being on the Tech Show, Dr. Z.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Okay, it's now 2026. We're more than 25% through this century, and you probably have a couple of smart home devices and appliances in your home, but you aren't really getting the benefits of a smart home without integration. YouTuber Smart Home Solver shows us how to tie it all together painlessly in home tech.
All right, first, one of the most important parts about building a smart home is knowing how you're going to control it. You might think, oh, I'll just put a bunch of smart speakers around the house and use voice commands for everything. This might seem like a good idea when you're first starting. I know that's what I did when I first started, but now guess what? I hardly even speak to these things.
It's been 84 years.
Because it's difficult and clunky to remember what to say, so yeah, not really in line with seamlessly running in the background and family friendly. So I wouldn't plan on controlling your entire smart home with voice commands. Maybe just a handful of voice commands you use on the couch is more reasonable. I mainly use smart speakers to listen to music and play voice notifications. Another way you might want to control your smart home is with a bunch of smart home apps on your phone. But don't do that, it's just too much. Only use these individual smart home apps to occasionally adjust settings. Trust me. The better way is to use a dashboard that combines all your smart devices so they're organized in one spot. You can quickly access them on your phone, or family members can control things on a shared tablet. At least I thought it was a great idea. To do this, you're going to need to combine all your smart home devices into one smart home system, and more on that in a minute. But this is great because there's always going to be times where you're going to need to manually control something, and this just makes it so easy. So dashboards are convenient, but the ideal way to control your smart home is with sensors. They make it so you can go about your day while your smart home adjusts based on your everyday activities, like walking into a room, using the kitchen counter, or the garage door opens. And sensors make it possible to hit all three of those goals for the ideal smart home. So now we know the best way to control your smart home. Now we need a system to make it all happen. Number one, an easy, simple system might not always be better. In fact, it can be the opposite. For example, say you have a few Amazon Echoes you've collected over the years, so you want Amazon to be your smart home system. It's easy to use, so it makes sense, right? Well, you're going to run into issues with all three of those goals for the ideal smart home because you're limited on how much customization is possible. Say you don't want motion lights to turn on if the TV is on, or you don't want certain automations to run if visitors are over. With Amazon, this isn't possible. Yes, it's easier to use, but you'll be limited in what you can do, what sensors are compatible, dashboard options, and the list goes on. So it seems counterintuitive, but a more advanced smart home system can actually be more family friendly. I know that's a lot to go over, but there's one more thing to think about when choosing a smart home system. How much tinkering do you want to do? Like, do you want to customize everything to your heart's content? Or are you fine just letting the system do it for you? Home Assistant is open source, which means it's free and not owned by some big tech company. But it does require some tinkering to keep it working. It's gotten way easier over the years, but is definitely more work. Here are some of the smart home systems I recommend. Home Assistant is the clear winner for me, but for lots of people, tinkering isn't ideal, which is completely fine. I personally don't mind tinkering. Let's see, building something in my quiet garage and getting a break from this? Yeah, I'll take as long as I need. Okay, now you know the best way to control your smart home and the system to make it happen. Now we need to add smart devices so you can actually control things around your house. I have a list of basically every device I'm currently using in my smart home that you can check out for yourself. I only use devices that I absolutely love since I've tried a lot over the years. But here are some things to look for when you're buying smart home devices. The first thing is Matter. This is a new standard that promises to make all your smart home devices work together. So should you only buy devices that are Matter compatible? Well, in my opinion, you shouldn't limit yourself. Matter is still very new and currently being developed, so you could be waiting a while if you only want Matter devices. The benefits of Matter are compatibility with basically all the systems, and it doesn't require the cloud to work. Well, you can already do this with Zigbee, Z-Wave, and Thread devices right now. So again, this is just my opinion, but one thing that Matter devices do really well is not rely on the cloud for them to work, and I would highly prioritize this when buying new smart home devices. That way, if the company that makes the device unfortunately ever did go out of business, you could keep using it in your smart home. So this supports that third goal that I said for long-term reliability. If you already have smart home devices that require the cloud like I do, it's not the end of the world. I wouldn't throw them out and it will probably be fine.
We have to take a final break, then we're back with Take My Money right here on The Tech Show. Stay with us. Now it's time for Take My Money. This time, maybe we finally get that quality sleep we've been craving.
If you are watching this at 3 a.m., you are not alone. Every night's a battle. You are tired, but your mind won't shut off. I'm Alex, and I've been there too, tossing and turning night after night. The real problem is not there are not enough sleep gadgets, it's that nobody actually asks why you cannot sleep. So we made a free 2-minute sleep quiz. That's where Serapsis really starts. Everything in Serapsis is designed for one thing, better sleep. Not just to help you fall asleep, but to stay asleep. We are not just helping you sleep, we're giving you back control.
I mean, sure, it's a speaker that plays relaxing sounds, but it also looks like it's definitely out of a cursed cave. So, Serapsis, maybe I'll lose sleep over it, but I'm gonna keep my money. It is very pretty though. Thanks for joining us this week. Follow us at The Tech Show TV and join the conversation. Tech you later.